The Saint Therese Center for HIV and AIDS facilities has been a place of refuge for more than 5,400 clients now being served in the Southern Nevada and Arizona communities. Started back in 1998 by the Roman Catholic Diocese in Las Vegas, it is now second only to Catholic Charities of Southern Nevada in its scope, having grown into one of the most important and meaningful outreach ministries that the church has under her wings.
In 1998, in October, opened the Saint Therese Center. It was at that ribbon cutting, by the way, that I met the bishop, who happened to be standing next to me after his ribbon cutting, who said to me, "Boy, you'll never know how hard this was." Thankfully, the Saint Therese Center has expanded into what it is today, operating in 3 locations, handling some 4,000 people. Absolutely amazing. Both the growth, the necessity of Saint Therese, and how this wonderful charity handles this emergency.
Appropriately named after Saint Therese of Lisieux, the patron saint for the sick and for missions. This mission of mercy and hope has shown thousands of people they are loved in our community. That love is shown through many acts of mercy, from a food pantry to the simple pleasure of receiving a haircut. Dominican Father Joseph O'Brien says dignity is something every person deserves to keep.
We have so many places that help give to us that really benefit our clients, and we are grateful to them. They give so much, and the thing that's truly remarkable is that Trader Joe's gives us flowers every day. And being the fact that we encourage people to experience the little flowers in life, when you get 60 bunches of flowers a day from Trader Joe's that the clients can take home, it just cheers them up. You know how it is when someone gives you flowers, how you feel. The fact that you can take the flowers home and put them on your table and brighten your place, making things cheery, it's truly wonderful. It's really remarkable. And even though it may not be food, it's still a great way of uplifting people. But we do get a ton of food from Trader Joe's, Albertsons, Glazers, Fresh and Easy. We're grateful to all of them.
Like you go like that and then you flip around, holding on to the tree with your one hand. Really?
It is people like Keith who count on the Saint Therese Center for love and support. Along with his wife and 5 beautiful children, Ashley, Cody, Cole, Kenneth, and little 5-year-old Caden, they have been struck by unfortunate circumstances, with their father being HIV positive. But Keith tries to make life as normal as possible for his family.
Hers is pretty easy because she gets up and she doesn't even eat or anything. She just grabs something to drink and leaves and brushes her teeth. But like with him, he has to get up and he has to take his retainer out and to check his blood, and then he has to count his carbs. He has to get a shot, and then he has to go brush his teeth and brush his retainer, and then he can put his retainer back in, and then he can start his morning. And then he can go to the bus stop, and get all this stuff. And then it's the same thing with these guys, without the retainer, he has to get up and wash his hands, check his blood, eat, count his carbs, get the shot, and then you comb their hair, brush their teeth, floss, and get ready for school. That's from 5 to 9 o'clock. We're pretty busy. I say polar bear.
Polar bear.
For Keith, Cody, and Cole, life is an everyday struggle. Both sons have been diagnosed with diabetes, which multiplies the fight the family endures.
This is my son Cole. This is my son, Cody. Cole, sorry. They both have diabetes, type 1. It's pretty hard to manage the diabetes and HIV. It's a very hard thing to manage both, because you have to deal with blood and you have to be very careful around blood. Yeah, there you go. 1.
No, this way.
Here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right here.
Orange.
For Keith and his family, the little miracles they receive from the Saint Therese Center and Father Joseph O'Brien keep them going in a positive direction.
When I'm in need, or when I need food or whatever, you guys are there to help. Basically anything, when these guys' clothes got lost when they went on a trip, you guys were there to help, replace some of them.
pinto beans, refried beans.
I see it as a place that we come and usually get hugs and stuff like that.
Thank you, Father.
Saint Therese Center, they brought us hash house to go. And then gave us food.
It's not only Keith's family which depends on the programs offered by the Saint Therese Center, and that is why donations to the center are so important and they are put to good use.
The Saint Therese Center and Father Joseph and all the people that's here, they are so wonderful. They are so wonderful, and I just love them to death. I just love them to death.
Father Joe is like an anchor to these small towns and communities out here in the desert. He keeps these people alive. He keeps these people thinking positive, and I don't think you can replace that.
It's important that we keep HIV in the media. It is important that we keep HIV out there because so many people are becoming complacent, and with their complacency becomes new infections. New infections brings us obviously new clients.
Coming up later in tonight's program, we will show you some of the businesses and community leaders who make the programs at the Saint Therese Center thrive.
These are the names that offer a reminder. Men, women, children who have lost their lives because of the devastating impact the AIDS virus has had on our worldwide community for the past 30 years.
I think we try to calm the fears of those who are HIV positive when they come to us. Know that they are welcome, that they are loved, and they are not judged in any way, shape, or form.
But there shines a glimmer of hope in our Las Vegas Valley, the Saint Therese Center. This center is the AIDS Outreach of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Las Vegas. Serving close to 5,000 clients of all faiths and backgrounds, the Saint Therese Center provides much-needed assistance and support to those living with the AIDS virus, as well as their families.
One of the things our statement is reaching out to those who are infected and affected by HIV and AIDS. You know, and people don't realize in the statement right there, that's everybody, because you're either HIV positive or you're not. And we're either helping those who are affected or infected. What people need to know is that the center is available to them, especially if they're HIV positive.
And that's what the center is all about.
Father Joseph O'Brien, a Dominican priest for 35 years, runs the center with the help of volunteers. Father O'Brien approaches the needs of those infected with compassion, dignity, and respect.
And if anything, that's what we're all about, is to break down the stigma, to break down basically the uneducated, to break down the ignorance, that sometimes can surround this virus.
The center opened in 1998 and ever since has been serving the growing numbers of those infected with the AIDS virus. Services at the Saint Therese Center range from support groups to social services, like a generous food pantry which provides much-needed nutrition to clients.
One of the things that our clients need the most is a feeling of hope, especially when they feel helpless. They are so overwhelmed by what they receive when they first come. The tears of joy that we have at all our events and all various things are just really phenomenal.
The center helps with clothing and other housewares, and simple services like haircuts are also available, as well as medical referrals.
And we work well with the other agencies in town, making things happen and refer clients accordingly wherever they need and what their specific needs are.
You sent your only Son, Jesus Christ, the Messiah.
As an extension of the Roman Catholic faith, the Saint Therese Center is deeply rooted in the Word of God.
She's faithful and trusting.
The Saint Therese Center hosts a weekly Bible study, and the Bible study is available to all clients to help them with their spiritual needs as they journey through the cycle of the deadly AIDS virus.
I think the aspect of the Saint Therese Center is that God is alive and well in our HIV community.
With an annual budget of about $550,000, the center relies heavily on the kindness of public donations. Money, time, food, and clothing donations help this center remain operational.
We need to let people know that we also can use the help. Obviously, there's always the financial side where we can use the donations and put money to good use. But again, too, when people don't have that ability, but they have the ability of their time, their talent, If they can share their treasure, that's wonderful, but their time and their talent is also valuable.
And he walked me over to the Saint Therese Center.
As the numbers continue to rise, educational outreach has become an important mission of the Saint Therese Center.
We need to have that outreach in our religious community. We need to have the outreach knowing that the religious community is involved with the HIV community.
He encouraged me to live with this virus, not to die with it.
David Brown is a young man infected with AIDS. He learned he was HIV positive in 2007. He now accompanies Father O'Brien on the center's outreach mission, telling his powerful story as a way to educate the community about the deadly effects of AIDS, as well as giving the public a glimpse of the tremendous impact this important charitable nonprofit outreach has in our desert community.
The center saves people. It brings Christ's love into people's lives as little or as much as they need. You know, the center is a beacon of hope to people that may feel hopeless.
This center needs to be in every diocese across the United States. And that's what our center is all about, having our clients live longer, healthfully, and spiritually.
The Saint Therese Center is an outreach our community cannot do without. Please help the Saint Therese Center continue to serve our community. For further information, contact the administration offices with the info on your screen. Thank you, and God bless.
In May of every year, the nation's largest single-day food drive is held. Stamp Out Hunger is an annual food drive sponsored by the National Association of Letter Carriers. In 10,000 cities across our country, letter carriers in metropolitan areas and rural towns collect food on their postal routes to help restock food pantries and food banks across the United States. 50 million people around our country suffer from hunger, and this annual food drive shows the level of care and commitment between the letter carriers and the communities they serve. This year, 1,400 branches collected a total of 74 million pounds of food nationwide. That's the second most collected in the 21-year history of the Stamp Out Hunger food drive. At the Valley Verde Post Office in Henderson, letter carriers here have teamed up with the Saint Therese HIV Outreach Center for the past 13 years. This unique Catholic outreach extends the Lord's hand to all those infected and affected by HIV or AIDS.
We started with one client reaching out to those members of our community who are HIV positive. Over the past 14 years, we have grown to close to 5,400 men, women, and children living with the virus.
This year, the Valley Verde Post Office collected nearly 28,000 pounds of food for the Saint Therese Center, making it the #1 branch in food collection in southern Nevada. Thanks to the National Association of Letter Carriers, the pantry of the Saint Therese Center will be fully stocked as they continue their mission to help those in need for the rest of the year and beyond. As the numbers of those infected with HIV continue to rise, this center is in more demand than ever before.
We are feeding thousands of people a month.
Albertson stores across the Las Vegas Valley.
Would you like to help stamp out hunger today?
Also got in on the action and participated in this food drive. 32 Valley stores helped with food donations and raised a little over $9,000. All to help the Saint Therese HIV Outreach Center keep its doors open and serving an often neglected segment of our desert community. The Saint Therese HIV Outreach Center is an organization our valley cannot do without. For ways to help, please contact the office with the information on your screen. Thank you, and God bless. Volunteers at the Saint Therese Center are loading up food for the pantry, food that goes to more than 4,000 HIV-positive clients in southern Nevada. Clients like Norman, a father of 5 and grandfather of 7.
We're the only agency that has the food pantry for the HIV community.
The center is named after Saint Therese, who died at the young age of 24. And though Father Joseph says she's always present and God always provides, he knows God often uses people to do it.
January is always like the worst month because people are so generous. And that's what I keep telling people. They're so generous in December, which is great. But generosity, love, and helping people really needs to be all year.
Saint Therese offers a variety of services, but perhaps the most important thing it offers is hope.
It changed my life, it's changing lives.
David is a full-time volunteer and a client. His addiction to drugs and alcohol cost him everything. After trying to commit suicide and surviving, he was then dealt the biggest blow of his life.
A guy came in and he asked for me by name, and I said, "That's me," and he's from the health department, and he handed me a piece of paper that said, "You have AIDS, sign this." I signed it and he left.
Now he and Father Joseph are licensed by Stanford University as the only 2 HIV instructors in our state, teaching clients how to live with the disease.
Some people are afraid, that they're not worthy, or, and the Saint Therese Center doesn't judge anyone, loves everyone, and it's just a powerful, amazing experience to see and be a part of.
The Saint Therese Center is fortunate enough to get pounds of flour, pancake batter, and sugar donated to its food pantry. And twice a week, special ed students from basic high school walk here from their school and break these large quantities down into quart-sized bags that can be handed out.
Because sitting down and doing reading, writing, and math is not going to benefit these kids. They need to learn how to go out into the community, communicate with people, get some job skills, so that hopefully when they graduate, they will have some skills and be able to do some work and be a functioning member in our community.
Father Joseph says these students easily save his staff 80 hours a week. But students like Quentin say they get something out of it too.
I'm the helper.
Feels good to help, doesn't it? Saint Therese offers a slew of programs for people in our community with HIV and AIDS, but it's the food pantry that is perhaps its most critical service, making what these students do a vital part of the mission here.
It's giving them skills, and we're very grateful that Basic High School is partnering with us to make this a better place to live.
The Saint Therese Center is able to help her clients with the donations received from leading businesses in the community. Businesses like Albertsons, Glazier's Food, Marketplace, Fresh and Easy, and Trader Joe's give several tons of food, toiletries, baby supplies, and much more to the clients of the Saint Therese Center.
It's important to help out the community, and these people do need the help. And somebody's got to pitch in and do something about it and raise awareness of HIV. And this is a good way to start, and we'll get a lot more people involved as the years go by. Hopefully, we'll find a good cure for it and help them.
The president of the advisory board to the Saint Therese Center puts in simple terms why she is so important to the Southern Nevada community.
We are indeed a family here at Saint Therese Center. One of the volunteers and members of Saint Therese Center recently affected, of course, and infected with HIV/AIDS. Now the center helps the latest person in the family.
The Saint Therese Center wants to thank all those businesses and community leaders who help in the serving of her clients, because those who show mercy to her fellow man or woman will be shown the same mercy in heaven.